London Kitchen. Friends, this is the story of Aarav. Aarav was a highly successful chef working in a premium, five-star restaurant in the heart of London. He had achieved everything a person could dream of: wealth, fame, and a reputation that made food critics praise his creations. Yet, despite all the applause, Aarav felt completely hollow inside. The city's top food critics often noted that while Aarav's dishes looked visually flawless, they lacked a soul, they lacked emotion. In the relentless hustle of his high-flying career, Aarav had become so consumed by work that he rarely found time to think about his home or his mother. 5 long years had passed without a single visit back to India, but one evening, amid the chaotic rush of the kitchen, his phone rang. It was his sister, her voice trembling. "Aarav, Mom is very sick. She keeps calling out your name. Please, just come home once." Dropping everything, Aarav took the very next flight to India. When he finally walked through the doors of his old, nostalgic childhood home, he saw his mother sitting quietly in a worn-out wooden chair. She looked frail and deeply weakened by illness, but the moment her eyes fell upon her son, her face lit up with the brightest, most beautiful smile.
Aarav, my child, you are finally here. Look at you. You have become so thin since you moved to London. Do they not feed you well over there?
"Mom, I am a very big chef in London now. I cook the most expensive and exquisite gourmet meals in the world."
You might be a grand chef for the rest of the world, my boy, but to me, you are still that same little Aarav who used to burn the toast every time he tried to help me in the kitchen.
Mother cooking. That very night, defying her physical weakness, his mother stepped back into the kitchen. She wanted to cook Aarav's absolute favorite meal, dal makhani and jeera rice. Aarav sat quietly on the kitchen counter, just watching her. There were no high-tech appliances, no expensive international ingredients, just a simple clay stove, a few pieces of firewood, and old, seasoned utensils. But the moment Aarav took the first bite of that food, tears rolled down his cheeks. The taste was magical, beyond anything he had ever tasted. It was the exact opposite of his flawless, five-star restaurant dishes. It wasn't fancy, but every single grain carried a mother's unconditional, boundless love. Aarav suddenly realized a profound truth. True flavor doesn't come from a spice box. It comes from the heart of the person cooking it. Finding the diary. Aarav stayed by his mother's side for 2 weeks. They spent hours talking about his childhood, sharing deep laughs, and learning to appreciate the slower pace of life. But life can be tragically unpredictable. A few months after Aarav returned to his busy life in London, his mother passed away peacefully in her sleep. Aarav was completely shattered. He flew back to India to perform her final rituals. Sitting alone in the quiet, empty kitchen, a profound sense of loneliness enveloped him. As he began sorting through his mother's old wooden cupboard, he discovered a small, handwritten notebook hidden beneath her old cerise. It was his mother's diary. On the very first page, she had written, "For my dearest Aarav, my secret recipes." With a racing heart, Aarav began flipping through the pages. To his astonishment, there were no precise measurements for salt, chili, or turmeric. Instead, the pages were filled with beautiful words of wisdom. Lesson 1: My son, whenever you cook, ensure your mind is calm and your heart is filled with peace. Lesson 2: When you add spices to a dish, visualize the absolute happiness of the person who will eat it. And the most important lesson: the ultimate secret ingredient is never found in a spice rack. It lives entirely within your capacity to love. The championship. When Aarav returned to London, he was a transformed man. He finally understood exactly what had been missing from his culinary creations. Weeks later, his restaurant entered the city's prestigious International Culinary Championship. Renowned chefs from all over the globe gathered, using liquid nitrogen, advanced techniques, and incredibly rare ingredients, but Aarav chose a completely different path. He decided to cook his mother's humble dal makhani. His assistant chef panicked, whispering urgently, "Sir, have you lost your mind? This is an international stage. We cannot serve simple, rustic home food to these elite judges." But Aarav simply smiled and replied, "Trust me. Today, I am not cooking to win a trophy. Today, I am cooking to honor my mother." Aarav cooked with absolute serenity, pouring his soul into the dish without any rush. The happy ending. When the judges tasted Aarav's dish, a dead silence fell over the grand hall. One of the head judges, a notoriously strict and harsh culinary expert, slowly closed his eyes as a single tear escaped and rolled down his cheek. He looked up and said, "Chef Aarav, this is not just food. This taste instantly transported me back to my childhood, to my grandmother's kitchen. This food possesses a soul. This is, without a doubt, the finest dish of the competition." Aarav won the championship trophy, but instead of accepting the massive promotions waiting for him, he resigned from his five-star job. He opened a small, cozy, and beautiful restaurant of his own. Right in the center of the dining area, he hung a large, elegant painting of his smiling mother. He named the restaurant Mom's Kitchen. Today, people from all corners of the world flock to his restaurant. They don't come for extravagant presentations. They come to experience the pure warmth, comfort, and love of a mother's touch. Through Aarav's cooking, Aarav found true happiness, proving that life's greatest lessons don't come from massive universities, but from a mother's humble kitchen. If you love this story, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next story. Goodbye.